Welcome back. I am Charlene and today we are discussing Newton's first law of motion. I'm sure you managed to think of some neat tips for the stuntmen jumping off moving trains. Let's first understand what exactly will happen if a person jumps off a moving vehicle. That as this guy jumps off, his feet suddenly come to rest. But because the remaining part of his body is in motion, he falls down and gets hurt. This danger can be minimized if while jumping out, the person runs in the same direction as that of the moving vehicle for some time. Now get set for those crucial exam tips that could make a remarkable difference in your exam sheets.
To start with, Newton's first law of motion. It should be very clear to you that the first law of motion gives you the qualitative definition of force. It tells you what the force is all about. Because in due course of time, when you are going to study the second law of motion, that gives you the quantitative definition of force. It gives you an expression with the help of which you can find out force. Another thing to keep in mind is, for the statement of first law, usually the students write, every body continues to be in the state of rest or in state of uniform motion unless until it is acted upon by force. So here I would like to emphasize the key points are unless until it is acted upon by an external unbalanced force. So keywords are external unbalanced force. I hope these tips which I have shared with you will help you to score better in your final exams. Wishing you all the best for your exams.
If you want to crack the exam code, this section on probable exam type questions with appropriate mark weightage will be of help. You can expect questions like this. Number 1. Write the statement of Newton's first law of motion. This could be for 1 mark. Or a question like this. Mass is a measure of inertia. Justify this statement. This could be for 2 marks. Why it is dangerous to jump out of a moving train? We just said this. 2 mark question. Or a question like this. The mass of object P is 10 kgs, whereas that of another object Q is 42 kgs. Which of the 2 objects, P or Q, has more inertia? 1 mark. Even a question like this can come. On what factor does the inertia of a body depend? Normally for 1 mark. However, just knowing the right answer is not enough. To get that perfect score, you should know how to answer right and intelligently. So let's take a look at how to write an ideal answer. Number 1 question. Why do the passengers in a bus tend to fall backward when it starts suddenly? Question for 2 marks. If you write the answer as passengers tend to fall backward due to inertia of rest, this inertia of rest will fetch you 1 mark. As the bus starts suddenly, the lower part of the body in contact with the bus starts moving, the upper part of the body tends to remain at rest and the passengers fall behind. Rest of the explanation will get you 1 more mark. Or a question like this. Define inertia. What are its various forms? Again a 2 mark question. The inability of a body to change its property of the body, which opposes any change in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line. Now here's the core of the episode. Now that's all we have time for today, but definitely not all from Newton's quote. We'll be back with his second law soon. And don't forget to send us your feedback at topperlearning.com. And if you get into a state of restful inertia, a certain force may be applied by your parents or your peers to get you out of it. Until the next time, remember, knowledge is light. So open your doors of perception.